It's fall, y'all. Come along with us as we stock up our freezer for the winter. This should be interesting. We're going to a few different stores. We already have a few things in our freezer and I'll show you what they are, but we need some more. So come along with us. Okay, before we get started, I do want to show you this little clip of our big grocery haul last week. This was our winter stock up for this year, and you can find this video out on YouTube as well. Today, we're shopping for freezer foods that are going to go along with the things we bought last week. And we're doing it because we're trying to save money, and I'll tell you why. Having all these items in your freezer and in your cupboard over the winter is going to help you, number one, eat out less because you have those foods ready to cook or ready to throw in the microwave when you need them. And number two, you will spend less on those impulse buys by running to the grocery store every week. What I will do now is go to the grocery store once a week or every 2 weeks just to buy fresh items because I have everything else stocked up. And yes, I do have some processed foods because sometimes you just need those really fast meals when you don't feel like cooking. Okay, now let's get to the grocery store and start shopping. The first thing I found on sale here were these Johnsonville Original Bratwurst Patties. These are a nice quick meal when you don't feel like cooking too much. I also found these Johnsonville sausages on sale. I love to use these in recipes and soups, and I'll show you what I mean. I love to take these sausages, pinch off the ends into little mini meatballs. And you're going to say, why don't I just use the ground sausage that Johnsonville sells? Well, this is better. It's different, you guys. It's so much better. And by squeezing the ends like this, it doesn't take too much time and you get these already formed meatballs. They are so good for recipes. I especially like using them in my lasagna soup. I'll link that recipe in the description. I add a little bit of water and let those steam and then stir them together, fry them up, and you can either freeze them for recipes later or use them right away. Such a delicious way to make your own little homemade mini meatballs. Okay, back to the grocery store. This bacon, I know it's not a freezer item, but this is our splurge of the day. Jones bacon is so delicious, it's very hard to find. We happen to live in the town where Jones makes the bacon, so our stores sell it. Next thing is Jones all natural pork sausage. These are delicious, you guys. If you haven't tried them, get them. You won't see me put those away because I kept them in our freezer up in our kitchen. Next, we're on to these Johnsonville sausage bites, and I noticed that these meatballs were on sale too, and I've never tried them, so we're going to pick up both of these. These are so easy just to throw in pasta bakes or soups. Now, this grocery store has a reduced section, so we're going to check it out. So the first thing I saw were these ballpark beef franks, which I do like these, but I'm not really into old hot dogs, so I just put those back. The date was the day before, so of course I did not want to buy those. But sometimes there's some really great meat here. And last week I got some pork chops and some chicken leg quarters for a really, really great price. So I always check this out because as long as you're going to freeze it that day or you're going to make it, as long as it's in date and it looks good, go for the reduced meat. It's a great way to save money. Now, I actually picked up these ribeyes for this great price, and I'll show you what we did that night. That ribeye was so thick, I sliced it down long ways and made 2 steaks out of it, and we grilled them over an open fire, a little bonfire in our backyard, and I made some little foil packed potato and green bean packets on the side. This was a fun, delicious meal with nice ribeyes that I was able to get at a great price. But okay. Enough of that, back to the haul. This grocery store had these little ham bites on sale for $1.99. That was half price, you guys. These are so good. I love to put them in egg bakes, soups, lots of different things, and they freeze pretty well. So I picked up a couple of those. I actually did get a couple last week too. So I'm stocked up on my little ham bites. Now, I was going to get my vegetables at Walmart, but they had them here for 78 cents a bag. And they only had a limit of 6, but that's okay. We got the 6 so we can stock up on some vegetables. And now at our house, Wednesday night is pizza night and family night. We usually watch a movie or a TV show and have pizza. It's kind of the midweek blues, got you down, just have an easy night. So we grab some frozen pizzas. Sometimes we order out or we get take and bake. But these were a good alternative because now we're only spending $5 on a pizza instead of $10 on a take and bake or much more if we were going to get delivery. Now, this store happened to be having a good sale on quite a few items, and I got these little mini pot stickers for $2 a bag. So that was a great deal. And then I just love this brand of potato products. And here's the thing, guys. If you like generic and you want to save the money, get it. If you like a brand and it's on sale, get it. Why wouldn't you get something that you know you love and you want to have and you'll actually eat? So I got these brand that I love of these crinkle cut French fries to throw in the oven on one of those days where you just need a nice, easy meal. Now here are some of the items we bought. Some of these things were for Halloween, and you guys, look, crispy bacon potato chips. Yes, they were delicious. Sometimes you do need that grocery splurge, and that's why we're going to stock up our freezer so we don't spend all that money on those splurges. Okay, now we're on to Walmart, and I love getting this raw shrimp. I usually get the medium with the tail off, but I couldn't find it that day, so I just grabbed a couple of the small. I love to use these when I make my homemade fried rice. And Walmart does have pretty good quality and price for frozen chicken, so I grabbed a couple of frozen chicken breasts. These are always nice to have on hand for chicken chili or any kind of chicken noodle soup or all of those things. And you guys, I'll put all of my recipes in the link so you can see them. Now, I told you Wednesday night's pizza night, family night at our house. We also do sometimes like to have wings. This is a great brand of wings. I absolutely love them. So here's our little haul. It's not too big. I got some fresh items and some milk as well. Now, let's get down in the basement and start stocking this freezer. Now, like I said, I already did have some items in my freezer, and we'll go through those. So at the top, of course, I have some frozen vegetables left over. I do have a few easy TV dinner meals. I have this wild rice, and I'm going to show you what I did when I made this wild rice. It takes so long to make that it's really nice to have it frozen in the freezer. Where I live in Wisconsin, it's really known for wild rice. So you can get it locally, and I bought some, but it takes over an hour to cook. So I cook some up and I put it in these bags and I put it in the freezer. It's just a great way to be able to pull out wild rice for, especially for a soup, and it's already cooked and ready to go, and it works out really well that way. I also have some chicken thighs, some Rhodes rolls. I have a few pot pies for those days, again, when you just don't feel like cooking. And then on the next shelf down, I have a couple of corned beefs that I got on sale right after St. Patrick's Day. That's a great time to stock up on those if you like to eat them. And that's a good point to save money. You don't have to fill your freezer just once a year. You can find things on sale, especially think of turkeys after Thanksgiving, etc. That's the time to stock up when things are on sale. Okay, those were some using your sausages when we visited the plant in Milwaukee. They're so good. And then a random soup. And don't forget to label your things, guys, because you forget when you put it in. That's important. So here are some pork chops. I actually bought the whole loin and cut up the chops. And then here also is some sealed up smoked pork we made on our smoker. There's a turkey. We're talking about buying things on sale. Buy those turkeys at Thanksgiving, you guys. Here are some veggies and some fruit that we already had in here, a couple more pot pies, some pears from my pear tree that I froze, and then we have some of the corn that I froze this summer. I'll show you a little clip of that video too. If you're like me and you love fresh sweet corn and you want to have it all year, just cook it and freeze it up. That's what I did. I just cooked up a few dozen ears of corn, cut them off the cob, put them in my seal-a-meal bags, and just sealed those up for the winter. It's almost as good as having fresh sweet corn. So that's right there. And that's my little kitty Winnie checking everything out, but I apologize in advance that my head is cut off through this video, but I want to talk about this meat. We get our meat from a butcher, sometimes at the butcher shop, and sometimes we actually get it from a friend of ours who has a herd of cattle. This is 20 packages, 1 pound packages of meat for $100. This is cheaper than you're going to get it at the grocery store, and the quality is so much better. This meat is red. It's not full of fat. When you fry it up, a lot of times I don't even need to drain it because there's hardly any fat in it. But it's not dry. It's super good and juicy, and you know also that the cows were probably taken care of, so it's even better. If you can get your meat from a butcher, I highly recommend it. Okay, let's get all these things stocked up in the freezer. I wanted to take just a quick minute again to talk about how we save money by doing this. There are two main reasons. Number one, we are going to eat out less. We have nice, good meals to make, and we also have a lot of easy meals. So on those days we don't feel like cooking, we can just throw in a pizza or something like that. The second reason is we're going to avoid those impulse buys at the grocery store by going there once a week and getting groceries. Now, I will order some fresh items every week or run to the store to get fresh items, but you can see here the freezer is nice and stocked with some fresh meat and veggies, and then also some of those nice easy meals that we can just throw in when needed. This is a great feeling to go into the winter having a nice stocked up freezer. And I know not everyone will be able to afford big grocery hauls in the fall, but what we try to do is for the weeks leading up to this, use up everything we have in our cupboards just to save the money so we can stock up for the winter. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some good ideas from it. I will link a lot of my recipes in the comments and in the description if you're interested in any of the recipes I make with these items. Thanks for coming along and happy shopping, everyone.